don't know what it was about yesterday, but I just had a feeling that I needed to give out this line over here. I'm glad we were able to get that information out to you. And we do have some updated daily expected moves for you. These are not the correct ones. We're going to update those on the next screen as we go into the SPY, the Qs, and volatility. Is the selling going to continue, or are we going to be able to confirm to the upside? I'm going to give you some things to potentially react to tomorrow, but also we're just going to go through these signals and see where we are at, who is still in control. Did the bears do enough work today, or are the bulls in control? And this is all just a bear fake out, some kind of bear trap. Well, let's get into it. So if you haven't been here too long, the daily time frame is what we're watching for, and we are actually leaning towards a new high at this point. Now, we are going to go over some things today that we would need to see in order for this market to turn down, because on the 2-hour chart, we did see somewhat of a crossover. But remember this, what we were pointing out in yesterday's video was the fact that the 2-hour chart was able to build up into a positive territory position here for your MACD. So you are in that positive area where you can doodle around down here, but we posted this to Patreon as well. As long as you're not seeing a firm close below 657, you really don't have much to worry about, right? This is your higher low. If we're going to make another higher low, that's perfectly fine. And if we're in positive territory and the 2-hour curls up, what's going to happen? Test the high, go make a new one. We're going to end up at that weekly expected move if the 2-hour chart is able to curl to the upside, where this weekend we'll be talking about the macro scale, getting into these monthly expected moves by next week. We see here 673.05 to the upside for your daily expected move. Can we give a little clap here and a thankfulness for the second standard deviation? I don't know why, but I just go, I've seen this type of look before. It looks like they just want to do some kind of shakeout move. So I hope you enjoyed that second standard deviation and didn't get caught in some kind of, I'm going to take a day trade short at the 95% line. Okay, if you need to learn more about that, we can talk about that in a separate video. Just let me know, maybe over on Patreon or in the comments. We can see here, though, to the downside, we have 662.55. So what's going on here? We already kind of talked about the 2-hour chart. In order for this to get bad, you got to lose this, meaning by the time you do lose that, you're going to be going negative. So that would be how you read it on the MACD. The 2-hour has to go negative in order for us to really see downside. Now, that being said, the 30-minute chart is still close to that center line. I mean, the last time we made a 2-hour higher low, well, we were pretty deep into negative territory, and now we're at like almost the same point, a little bit higher. Can this curl to the upside? Well, if it does curl to the upside, you'd be looking at that top side expected move 673.05. Now, we did mention this on Patreon. What do we need to see in order to say, hey, yeah, now we actually can start to talk even more about downside? The probability starts to edge up a little bit for those bears. Well, what you're going to have to see here is either complete collapse, right? Wipe out this line right here. But overall, even when you do that, either way, you're going to have to see a 30-minute lower high. So in this area, if you do see a 30-minute lower high and we reject, I would be watching for possible continuation, right? I would be looking for that potential ABC to break this level, right? So if you're really like, hey, I want this market to head down, I understand what you want, but you have to see what the market actually wants to do itself. That's what actually matters. What the market does is what matters for your trading, not what you think. So if this 30-minute turns up, it is negative, but you can see how that's not terribly negative. So going positive here would be a good thing, meaning we're pretty much in the probabilities where you would test the high, go make a new one. So this is potentially the opportunity that we were talking about. Now I'm going to go into this just a slight bit deeper since we are on the SPY, and I'll show you something that we can look out for in the morning if you wanted some sort of potential area to look out for, or what to look for on your MACD in the morning to see an opportunity that might get you to the top side by the end of the day. This is just something that could happen. Something that I see very often is after a big selling day, we actually get continuation in the morning and the market's able to catch itself either at a daily expected move or right in here where those buyers did step in towards 665. So 665 could be a critical level to watch for tomorrow. And this would more so be an opportunity like what? It's the fake out, right? It's to convince people that we are going to go do this. but then you see that curl back up. The important thing is it has to curl back up into positive territory. Once that happens, it is very likely that you are going to see continuation to that daily expected move, if not upside into the next trading day. So I just wanted to point that out. This is how you can really look deeper into things. Once you do have the advanced skill, you've looked at these things for a long time, you can start to read into 15-minute, 5-minute charts. And then if you have good risk management, you can really do it. So that's something that I've been doing back and forth. Very nice with volatility back and forth here. People are making huge bets, causing the premium to go nuts. But to overall clarify with this video, that would mean, hey, the 2-hour has crossed down. This is still, the bulls are in control. We have a higher low. Can we make another one? Well, we would have to see a 30-minute lower high or a break of 657 before that actually happens. So it looks like our turn to the upside, the daily scale potential to turn up here to make another divergence point, is actually the more probable thing at this point. So let's go check out the Qs and see what levels we can find for you over there. And I know I really like to go in depth with the SPY. I just like to do that. I know it takes, 5 or 6 minutes to really get through it, but I like to go into that as thoroughly as possible to really explain these things. I mean, if you really look at this, people could be saying double top right now. You have this one, people could be like, this is a major divergence. The only problem is here, you kind of made the higher low. So this already really leans you towards what? The daily being able to see that extension. So we most likely, and we'll be talking about this over the weekend, so please subscribe. We most likely will be talking about either up in November, depending on the next move, or a trap next week towards, I would say, I believe it's next Thursday would be the date, and I'll go over some of the data for why Thursday could be important. But for now, let's get you guys daily expected moves, right? Let's get you prepped for tomorrow. 612.05 to the upside. We have 598.93 to the downside. First of all, look at the 2-hour. The 2 hours positive now. We might need to remake all these signals, right? These signals that we made in here, we might have to remake all those. That's the crazy part. So you might be in a time where you see another couple of moves like this. So are we going to go and then see something bad? Most likely we would see an extension. So if the 2 hours is able to curl up here, very, very simply, test the high, go make a new one. That's where you're looking at weekly expected move, if not even the monthly expected move of 630 for the Qs. Pretty crazy, but positive territory. You're going to have to take out these levels of about 595 pretty cleanly and very cleanly, I would say, in order to really say that this market needs to tip over. In the 30-minute standpoint, you're a little bit deeper into negative territory than, say, the SPY. But at this point, you're just seeing the first move down. You would really need to see some kind of, most likely you would need to break this low, see some kind of counter trend move, and then get the lower high. And once you get that, it's pretty easy to execute some downside plays, and volatility will be with you on that. But for the time being, if the 30-minute crosses up, you look for the lower high anywhere in here, lower high. Okay, does it come down here first, then lower high? Once you see that lower high, you can start to have more of an argument for downside. But until you see that, this is most likely some, I believe it even was Vixpiration potentially, right? So this could be some Vixpiration stuff. This could be to fake you out before all these earnings plays. This could really be a lot. The big thing to keep in your mind right now, and by the way, that little 5-minute thing is here as well if you wanted to check that out for tomorrow, you little day traders out there. The very important thing here to understand, the very important thing, and this is the main thing that I think needs to stick with you. It's actually none of this price action right here. It's this right here. This is very important right now. The fact that we got the curvature here, we were able to go positive. We went positive to some extent. We saw a good move to go test those highs. If the 2-hour crosses up, you can get an explosive move, because all of this right now has put people in so much fear. I feel like that fear was justified, but we never saw the actual downside for the weekly pullback, which means we are very likely to extend. What signal tells us that we are likely to extend? This right here and this higher low right in here. So we are very likely to see a daily cross up here and go set up either one more divergence point or keep this party going to the bull side. I would believe that we are going to see some kind of next divergence point, and then we'll pay attention to the other side of things in case things decide to turn down. But the volatility index, the VIX, is not suggesting that at this point, and we're going to go over that for a moment. VIX, you can kind of see this here. We are crossing down the daily MACD. We're getting a wick on here on Vixpiration. It's just, This is a big deal because this means that our daily pullback analysis was most likely right. So look at it. We are going to pay attention to 1504. We are going to pay attention to the daily chart being able to cross up. But right now, you are confirming to the downside. So you're going to have to whip up. So what can we look into in the future? This is for the future. This is for potentially next week, just so we are clear. We'll be looking for 2-hour divergences. Don't get me wrong. We will be looking in here for any kind of 2-hour divergence that we do see. So if one pops up, look out, Patreon members, because you might be getting an update. Make sure you have those notifications on, okay? I will update you if I see a signal on the 2-hour that says, hey, we're about to see a big drop. I will update you on Patreon. Don't worry about that. But for now, it looks like we need to create those reversal signals, okay? So that means for the 30-minute, hey, we're positive right now. We're seeing if we're cooking. We're going to see if we can keep heading to the upside. But right now, you're just getting rejection after the retest of the 5-day. So this isn't necessarily the most crazy thing to see. Now, that being said, do you see how we're still in positive territory here? So there is a possibility that we see one more move to the upside or a lower high that really tells you, okay, yeah, we are going to go make new all-time highs. So I wanted to point that out and bring that to your attention. As of right now, though, the daily scale has crossed down. We mentioned this like I think we mentioned it before the weekend that we potentially could see this shape is what we kept drawing, this over here. Kind of see this as a big roundabout, and then we get that kind of rightish shoulder. I'm not confident in saying like head and shoulders, but we did see a break above these critical levels that you see right here. And then you see that we would come back down to really fake people out, and then we'd take off to the skies, maybe come the end of the month of October. So to clear up this video, just so you guys are very aware of what's going on right now, we potentially are getting rejection from the daily scale, but it is very likely that with the price action we have right now, that the daily scale is going to be able to make a new high here. We will look out for traps and things like that. We will utilize volatility towards the end of the week if we see a Friday trap or anything. We'll make you aware on Patreon and in these videos at nighttime. For now, the 2-hour chart is not necessarily showing the biggest reversal signals. I would say that it's very difficult for me to say that this is a divergence because we did get this signal down here, which really says, hey, we are going to head to the upside. So as of right now, this is the most important thing on my watch. Yes, I am paying attention if the 2-hour is able to go negative and break through 657 very cleanly. But as of right now, that would mean the best thing for me to do is look at the trend, see that it is a higher low, take a potential trade, which on Patreon, we did discuss the fact that I said this is potentially not a trade that'll be like, oh yeah, I want to bet the house and make $1 million, but it is a trade where you can follow your reasons, have a plan for the trade and a plan if the trade goes wrong, and you can sit there and go, okay, cool, I'm going to execute exactly how I do things normally because this is a great pullback into a great price action level as of this moment. And if that 30 minutes able to cross up, we are going to test this high and most likely go to that weekly expected move, if not 680 by the end of the week, because there's a bunch of orders there. So as of right now, if you wanted to see more downside, you would need to see continuation into a lower high. You would need to see somewhat of a lower high from the 30-minute to really convince you that the market is tipping over at this point. That's the best information that I think I can give out for today. I hope that it is in some way helpful. I hope that you guys have some critical levels for today. Getting that second standard deviation, I hope you enjoyed that, but now you have some critical levels for tomorrow and some things to pay attention to. So I hope you have a great night, all right? Peace out, guys.